Kevin, congratulations on your move here to Rangers. Can you describe your feelings?
Obviously there's a lot of speculation in the last few weeks. I'm just glad that it's finally came to a head and can concentrate on my football again and hopefully do well for Rangers.
It was a bit of a whirlwind. How did the move come about?
Well, I went to training with Hibs, finished training, had a text message on my phone for the chairman saying that I was to phone him when I was finished. So I gave him my phone and he said if I would come up and see him after I was showered and changed. So I went up to see him and he had said to me, sat me down and said that they had an offer that they had agreed with Rangers. It was my option whether I obviously wanted to come. He said I'd prefer you to stay. He says, but I know how obviously unhappy you've been in the situation over the last few weeks, so it's up to you if you want to move on. And I said to him basically when are we going, and that was it. He took me through to Livingston. We met Martin Bain and went for a medical, and the rest is hopefully history.
I think a lot of people will be surprised to see you here on your own, because it seemed you and Scott Brown were coming as a duo for a while.
Well, obviously, you know, a lot of speculation in the papers was, you know, it was a lot as a twosome. You know, there wasn't many, you know, things in the paper when it was just Scott or just me. You know, it was always the two, which, you know, we were happy about, and we hoped that, you know, one day that we maybe could have got a move together, because, you know, we're bestie buddies off the park and on the park, and it would have been nice if the both of us could have came. But you know, it's not like, it's not as easy as just to say we both want to go to the same club and away we go. So circumstances obviously mean that I'm here and he's still at Easter Road. But you know, as I've said to him on the phone, you know, I'd love him to join me in the summer.
When Rangers made their move, were you worried at all that Hibs might not let you go?
Well, in all honesty, you know, the speculation was more surrounding Celtic than it was Rangers. You know, Rangers only came to the table, you know, with maybe a week to go in the transfer. As soon as I heard that Rangers were interested in it, that they were wanting to pay the money that Hibs were looking for, then, you know, there was no doubt in my mind where I wanted to be.
How big a part did the fact Walter and Ali are here, how big a part did that play in your decision?
But I think they speak for themselves, you know. The gaffer's one of the men, you know, as soon as you meet him you feel as though you've got that most respect for him, and you know, I think that's very important in a football manager relationship. You know, I'm just looking forward to getting on the training park and working.
You said it'll be sad to leave Scott behind for a while. Would a move for Scott from Rangers in the future appeal to you?
Oh, definitely. I think it would appeal to everybody. You know, Scott's a very talented boy. You know, and I'm sure the day that he leaves Easter Road, you know, he won't be short of a few admirers. You know, the potential that the boy's got is unbelievable. You know, I think he can do anything you can ask him in the game, and you know, whether it's here at Rangers or wherever he chooses to go, I'm sure he'll be a top player for someday.
One man you know well from your time at Hibs is your former captain there, Ian Murray. Are you hoping he'll be able to help you settle in?
Well, I've already said to him, you know, he needs to take me under his wing and show me the ropes. And I said, you know, it's probably going to be a boring week for you trying to show me bits and bobs and trying to get me settled in. But you know, I'm sure, you know, Ned's a lovely guy, and you know, I'm sure he'll look after me.
And you could be competing for a place before long as well.
Well, you know, hopefully, you know, obviously we've not got a game until next Sunday against Kilmarnock, and you know, it gives me a wee bit of time to settle in, and fingers crossed I'll hopefully be involved.
What type of player can Rangers fans expect from Kevin Thomson?
A very hungry player. You know, I hope that I've proved to people that, you know, I'm good enough to play in the SPL. I know it's a total different ball game coming through here, and the expectations are far higher, but I'm up for the challenge, and you know, I'm excited to be involved, and I hope I don't let anyone down.